This podcast is a space for real stories and honest conversations. As always, I try to bring you unique ideas, ways to empower yourself, and most importantly, to open your life to new ways of thinking. But sometimes that might include some strong language or personal opinions. Nothing here is meant to offend, just real people speaking in their own voice. Thank you for listening. Welcome back to Sharing Your Stories. This time I'm bringing you a very interesting guy that I have met. His name is Massimo Cherio, or as he's well known as Max. His story is something I have never seen before. Someone who transitioned from sports to working in the finance sector. He's gonna even launch one of his businesses soon. And it's something that, for me, it's quite unique. But I would like more than Max tells us more about his adventure, how he started in sports and how he even eventually transitioned to the finance world, because, well, we can learn something interesting from him.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. So should I start? All right. So when I was little, I started running. I asked my father to, because I remember when I was very little, when I was in kindergarten, no, even nursery, I forced all the kids from my from the nursery to run against me because I had to prove I was the fastest. So there I discovered I was fast. Then I remember I saw one of Usain Bolt's first races. So I fell in love with running. So I asked my father to take me to do that professionally, but of course I was like 6 years old. You could not do it yet. So I just asked him to sign me up to some races, and when I was already like 7, he signed me up to maybe a 5K marathon at 7, and I was just running those. And then I did that for a few years, and then I won some competitions of my city. I did that basically. Then I started playing soccer, and I was skiing at the same time. And skiing, the only problem was I very, very light, because until 17 I didn't grow in height and weight, so I was very light, but I did very good in skiing. I started doing competitive skiing and professional. Then I went to the regionals. I won the regionals for my age. Then I went to ski in the Italians. I also did good there. I don't remember now. It's like 4th in the Italians. But then there was a bit of the choice if because me, I'm either all in or all out. Mm-hmm. So if I cannot do something to win, I'm not gonna do it. So there was the choice. Since I'm always doing other things, during the week I cannot go ski. The other kids were going maybe Thursday. My parents wouldn't allow that. So the last year I was skiing, I was maybe not winning the races and arriving first or second or third, maybe arriving 7th. That was unacceptable for me. So there was a choice. Either I went to live in the mountains, like some of the people who took it professionally, or I continued to play soccer. So I decided to play soccer, and I did also good there until the body weight also mattered there. So yeah, also there I was, I did quite good. I won the regional championship also there. I was also captain of the regional team, and then it was a mess. Like 13, everybody started growing hair. 14, everybody started growing. I was so confused. I was 1 meter 48. Okay. When the others were 1 meter 70, 175.
Oh wow!
So it was impossible to play. I started not being the best and the captain, number 10. I started maybe sometimes see the bench because they're like, yeah, man, in every contrast you're dying. So yeah, then I stopped soccer because I was in pain so much. And yeah, that was a tough choice because my father, he pushed me a lot in that because everything I did, he idolized me a lot because it came very easy for me. Everything related to sports. I was not a grinder like you see me do now. I was just good. Running, I woke up, I was the fastest. I never stretched, I never trained. Skiing, I skipped all the trainings. I just went to the race and won. Soccer, I just bullshitted all the time. I came without eating. I didn't sleep. And I just dribbled past everybody. Sports, always easy. I did boxing, I was good. I was tennis, it came easy. Golf, whatever sport is easy. Then when I stopped that, I had to do school. School I didn't like. Worst grades in the class. Last of the class. Always shit grades. Then at a certain point when I finished high school, I'm like, okay, so what I'm gonna do? Okay, Before, when you were kids, it's hide and seek, so it's running. I had to be the fastest, I'd be the fastest. Then everybody started playing soccer, so I had to play soccer. I was the best in my class. Then also some kids were skiing. Okay, after that, I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Okay, now it's bullshit American movies, being popular, the things. I'm like, okay. So I started doing that, doing the famous tables of the city I was in. I was the guy who had the big tables with the girls, blah, 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 all those things. And then after that, I was like, okay, now what? I'm like, okay, well, what's gonna make me big now, right? So I like, okay, what can I do? I'm like, oh, well, I think I have to start studying for the first time in my life. I never opened a book, never gave an exam without prepare. I never gave an exam prepared. Always cheated, or if I didn't cheat, I never studied a day in my life. Literally never. I think I'm quite smart, so I figured it out. And then I decided I was gonna go to university, and my mom took a chance on me, and she paid for my university. And I said I was gonna be the best in the class. So then I got my grades. I was the best in the class, and then from that day I started reading. I bought books, read all day, every day, and you just read, and learn constantly.
But for example, you moved to a very, let's say, how did you choose your career? Because you could have become a doctor. You could have become even go to other fields like luxury stuff, or I don't know. It's like very specific what you're doing, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you're doing now and how did you choose this specific sector? Because I don't know many young people doing what you're doing, man.
I think it's people would say it's a chip on a shoulder, right? Because I was so good, maybe like born with gifts in sports, came easy. And like, okay, what's something I'm not good, but I can try and beat the ones who are very good. Like in my classroom, I had 2 or 3 students who were the best of the class, right? They were most intelligent. And like, what are they doing? Finance. Then my older friends presented me some guys from this university who were masters, and 2 guys were so smart. I was like, what are they doing? Finance. I'm like, okay, all these guys, they know math, they're so smart, they do finance. And then I want to go against them because I want to be the best. So I'm like, okay, this is one of the fields where there's most people are very attracted by money. So if someone's born intelligent, unless you do mathematician or something, if you're very intelligent or you do the entrepreneur, you're gonna be like, okay, where's money? Finance. If you're good, you make a shit ton of money. So I want to be where the best are, and I want to do the rationality of going and competing against the greatest mind in the world, and see that like sometimes you realize that also the greatest minds in the world, they commit mistakes, and that intrigues me. It's like they don't see further from their nose. So I started doing that, and I learned and yeah.
Well, it's normal that we make mistakes. And for example, what was let's say the greatest lesson that you got when you did this transition?
Is that people are fucking good. There's some people live life normal, like they wake up and they think it's all easy, it's all for granted, because they say weak men make easy times make strong men make blah blah blah, all that thing. Now is easy. We are in easy times with weak men coming up, and people give it for granted. And like when I went to finance, I started competing then with this guy in my class who was very good, worked day and night, and I'm like, this no way he's doing it day and night. Also the other guy, I started working here like already 1 month in, when I'm like, now I'm full finance. I started working for a portfolio manager from Switzerland already. I was lucky, I think, and day and night, 3 hours of sleep day and night. And like they're good. Some people are very good there, and people don't understand it's not that easy as they think. It is very different.
And for example, how do you keep yourself in, let's more than call it in shape or in track, is healthy? Because you're saying I'm sleeping like around 3 hours, and it's not that I can understand that you are very good with sports and your body helps you, but I think that something that you should have learned in your adventure can then help you to overcome this situation, because if not, you will just collapse and then you can finish in a hospital. And from what I remember, I have not seen you in the hospital yet.
No, it's not even that painful. I just have it. I just wake up It's not that it's I just cannot stay there and sleep because I don't want to put it in a stupid way, but one day there was Miyamoto Musashi, Genghis Khan, Sun Tzu, Napoleon Bonaparte, all these guys. They woke up in a like in those times, like when there was Genghis Khan. These guys they stood on a horse and they're like, okay, I want to conquer everything.
Yep.
They stood on a horse. They had no map, no anything, no phone. They just went in a direction. Whatever was there, chop heads off, take mine. Now I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna say I want to go around and kill people, but I literally like for me, every person who I'm in competition I'm in competition with everybody. I want to kill them. There's no nice in that.
Yeah, but what I mean, that's one of the parts, let's say, of your mission or your goal. But to accomplish that, you will need either you will have your rituals, your way of working. That you will do something because even if you were Napoleon in the story, he has to do something, and it's not that I just wake up and then he doesn't eat, and because then he will collapse.
Yeah, of course.
Then you will have to have something in your routine that allows you to outperform in that, because if not, you will finish in the hospital. It doesn't matter if it's Genghis Khan or if it's gonna be Napoleon. The hospitals existed in those days, or the place or the camp where they will be treated. Then
It's I don't know. For me, pain fuels me. It's stupid, but the other day I was very collapsed, and it was the one night after 6-7 days where I was going like crazy. My girlfriend was here, and she's like, it was 1 a.m. and she's like, I'm going for a run. Me, I was almost asleep. I was dead. I come as well.
okay,
I ran. I measured my time that day, and then I went 3 days ago to run, and I was fresh because it was like Saturday, so I had the day like I slept like 5 hours. I was fresh, ran so much slower, and that time was 1 a.m. and it was 32 hours I was awake already.
okay.
The more pain I feel, the more I like it. It's like in the gym, me, I go more than failure. Same with the work. I just to force myself to work. If there's drinking, I'm gonna push the cup away. I'm not gonna drink the water. The more I feel the pain, the more I like it because I know it learns me. It teaches me something.
Okay.
So just that.
Because I remember that you were doing the experiment of the, let's call it icy
Ice bath.
Ice bath.
Yeah.
Did it have any relationship, or it was a recovery thing, or what was the purpose of the ice bath?
Ice bath, I do it every morning. Now I cannot because it's warm, but when
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back now there, I will do it. Ice bath. I searched. What's one of the things I hate the most is cold.
Okay.
So I like, okay, what's very cold? And I saw this research, like I asked ChatGPT, and I saw this research about ice baths. So I didn't care about the science thing, but I was like, this is one thing I don't want to do when I wake up. So every time I wake up, I do that, and I'm good with myself, or else I'm not gonna be good with myself. It's easy as that.
I thought it was something that you used for recovery when you were after practicing sports.
No, I do it before as soon as I wake up. It keeps me awake.
Okay.
It's something mental because I'm like, who the fuck is gonna do this at 4 a.m. and I went to sleep at midnight? Who the fuck is gonna get in the ice bath now?
I'm not so sure because in Poland, I had some colleagues who were doing experiments like that. I remember that once we went to Gdańsk and they went to swim at 5 a.m. during the winter. And they went to like 5 kilometers in the Baltic Sea.
Yeah, I mean, most of the people I know wouldn't do it, so I loved it because of that.
Yeah, because I used to live in Poland for many years, so for me it was just nothing exotic. For them it was just well. I remember that time I was in Gdynia, and some of my, it's a town near Gdańsk where my friends tried to convince me, man, why don't you go to swim with us? And I was, at what time? It's 5 a.m. and I was, man, it's December, man.
No, for me is I don't know. I have the only guy I really admire for my age, and one of my dearest friends. He does the same things I do, but when he also called me crazy for doing this, I'm like, okay, I have to do it.
Okay.
And I liked it.
And for example, when you went to the studies, you started to read a lot of books. Which were the most significant that guided you in this transition? Ones that you could encourage people to read, because there are too many books, and I can read from how to make friends to influence people to read how, like, your next 5 moves. There are so many books, and for example, if I'm a person that is just going right now to the university, maybe there are 3 books that you can advise them that they can do to have a transition in how they can see the world.
Relentless of Tim Grover. Crazy. The trainer. I don't know if you know who Tim Grover is. He trained Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and many other people, and he's with these guys, killers, crazy people. Like from The Last Dance, people got to understand like a bit of Michael Jordan, why he is who he is. I mean, when you're being that guy, people don't like. I mean, you don't. Scottie Pippen, his vice, they don't like each other. I mean, they've never been to dinner, right? And they known each other for 40 years. So, and from that book, I'm like, okay, these guys are crazy. Like he's describing the mentality of these people, and I'm like, for me that I'm crazy, I was loving it. I was like that. And then best book I've ever read because it applies to me is the Hypomanic Age.
The what?
Hypomanic Age.
Okay.
It's a study by a psychologist on hypomania. He's showing why some of the greatest men who built America have this trait of hypomania. It's a mix between it's a mania, but not to that extent, with a mix of bipolarism type 2. It's
But you mean like to be a hyper competitive person? Or what do you mean? Because it's,
No,
what do you mean with this concept?
it's characterized by some traits. It's like, for example, you are you feel like you're a god, kind of like you have
Okay.
this sense of grandiosity. You're capable of work, like when you go in manic state, you're capable of working relentless hours, but not like other people. Like you don't
Mhm.
notice. It's like you're in a hypnosis. So
Okay.
maybe you work 30 hours straight, 36 hours straight without noticing,
Yeah.
just like that. Just these people like that. And for example, Andrew Carnegie or someone.
Oh
else.
yeah.
Christophorus Columbus. It describes why these people have this trait. And for me, when I read that book, I was wow. I also make my girlfriend is reading it now.
Mhm.
And like, I need you to read this so you understand me, because when I read this book, I'm like, I understand. This is me. I love it.
Well, I understand you because sometimes I have been working for lengthy amounts of hours doing different experiments, or when I've been writing books, I spend, I don't know, 20, 30 hours straight, and when I'm doing something, I get very intense in my work.
Yeah.
And what would be a third book that you can advise people to discover?
There's many nice books. It depends. I like Economics in One Lesson is a very nice book. It's on Austrian theory, but there's Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. I like it a lot. Choose Your Enemies Wisely is a nice book also. There's many books. I don't know. There's a lot of books. Now I'm reading the only book everybody read and I didn't read, which is Rich Dad Poor Dad. I still didn't read it, but I'm 40 pages in.
I'm not so sure, man. That book in particular, it has interesting things, but for me, the most important of this is about to know if it's fiction or if it's a real book, because
Yeah.
that's the only part that when I read the book, because in my case, when to be a researcher, I do a lot of research and all those things, and this is a book that for me, I feel like something seems different from what I would suggest.
Yeah, for sure. That one for sure. And then No More Mr. Nice Guy is a nice book, I think, for many guys. Very important. It's a very nice book to read. Many people nowadays, like many men, I think. I mean, I'm on that side where I believe men nowadays are very, very submissive and weak. And that's a very important book to read for the young guys, I think. It's very nice. Psychological book also. Yeah. And then I have a bunch, but it's...
Well, there will be always. You told me that you have 42 books that you are always traveling.
Yes,
this time.
yeah. Math-ish.
And why it's 42 and why is that a specific number?
I don't know, it's books I have so much, like, they haven't been read, they have been studied. Like Your Next 5 Moves from Patrick Bet-David, if I grab it, it looks like it's been read 6,000 times. There's writing on its thoughts, notes in it, everything. I just go over them again and again and again and again, because there's things I like, things I connect between one book and another. Sometimes I take one book off and I put one in. Like now, I don't remember the name, but I should look it on the phone. If you want, I can tell you.
You can check it.
I finished this book, Night. Sorry, I don't... What is it called? Rules for a Night. Very nice. Very nice one. Very nice book. And it's a book about basically the writer is saying that by going in by like when you transfer home, if I'm not mistaken, something like that, they found in the basement these things that it was his grandfather, who was a knight, wrote for his children before he went in this battle where he died. It's 24 rules to be a good knight, and it's a very nice book. And then, From Zero to One, Mr. Peter Thiel, amazing book. So many books, and I connect the things between them.
There is always something that you can learn from the books. And now that you are, especially in these new transitions, how do you feel the AI hypes? Because even though I work in IT, I really feel that it's more an hype than real things, and I think it's more than people are putting a lot of money there. But I'm not sure if you have a different perspective, or how do you see it, especially in your sector?
I think it's some people love it, some people scares them a lot. They hype it up. Let's put it this way: like, there's, for example, these agents now. Like, people have been talking about, especially these past 2 weeks. I see them a lot on LinkedIn, and they've existed already since 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
But now they discovered them. They already existed, but yeah, Silicon Valley maybe also 5 months ago already. But it's okay. It hypes you up when you're like, oh, I have an agent do things for me, blah blah blah. So I was with my boss at work, and I show him how to build this agent that basically every morning grabs your schedule that you have and sends you on your email what you're gonna have planned for the day, right?
Okay.
I mean, when you're building it, and when I was showing to him, for him it was like the biggest thing in the world. But then when you receive the thing, it's like, okay, it's not this big thing, but it depends on perspective, right? I mean, then there's so many things you can do that, for example, I mean, machines are always gonna beat men in pure math. If you go trading, there's no emotions needed. Men have emotions. So, for example, for me, women are much better traders than men. Because men have egos. They have the problems. Old wall guys, how I call them, the guys from Wall Street. No, stocks. Oh, the Mag 7, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia. The women, they have less ego. The guys are like 67-year-olds, old wall guys. They're like, I know everything. No stocks, no inflation, tariffs. They know everything.
Yeah.
So they have all these big egos, and they're not going to look at the numbers. Whereas there's some people from the sector who are behind the curtains, who are beating everybody, and are basing themselves on AI, pure numbers. They're doing fractal math, which is a different type of math.
Okay.
Takes Brownian non-linear patterns, and it's preposterous what this, for example, hedge fund that I'm following is doing. It's all with AI also, mainly. It's amazing.
And are you planning to use AI for your new adventure?
We are, yeah. We have some Indian guys working on it. For the startup I'm doing today, the other two friends of mine who I work on the projects with, which are the two friends I have, which I consider the most clever. So I put them together to work on the projects we have. And they were with some Indian guys today, making them work.
And is it something related to trading, or it's going to be a completely different?
Completely different. It's aggregation. I don't know if you know what aggregation theory is. Is what basically like what Amazon, Uber, all these platform is what they did is aggregation theory. Like, take Amazon. You have the person selling the TV, the person selling the chair, the person selling the phone, books, and they brought it all in one place for everybody. They're aggregating everywhere. Uber, same thing. Person needs something. The person is there, they need to move. The person has a car, aggregate it in one place. Basically, or Facebook, bring all the people in one place. What they're doing is this. And there's one sector, which I don't know why, my friend came up with this, and like, no way it's not been aggregated. There's one sector which is missing this.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're trying that.
Okay, it sounds like a good experiment.
Yeah, but we'll see.
And what has been the most difficult challenge in these stages that you are following?
With the startup?
Yes.
Taking people to work.
But that one, it will always happen, man.
Oh, it's a yeah, but I didn't think on this level. Like, dealing with people is not.
Dealing with people is gonna always be a challenge, man. But for example, like, how did you organize this, and how, for example, you even identify how you can go to funding rounds and these things, because that's something that most people are unaware of, man.
Well, for me, I mean, being in finance, I know about funding side and the things. So on that things I was very like easy. As soon as we started, I made us sign founders agreement. People we talk with the NDAs, then organize the equity structure, how much we're gonna give away, dilutable, non-dilutable, blah blah blah. All those things. For me, I already have knowledge on it. But for us, it's not even. We don't even. For example, we don't even need funds to start.
Okay.
That might be in hand if we have them, but we don't need them. We need more a partnership from these persons. We are gonna meet with this VC fund. It's a 2 billion VC, and the 30th we're gonna meet with the president, and we're gonna go talk. But mainly we need a partnership from him. So it's different because you're not giving. They're gonna ask for equity for sure, but it depends what kind of strategic thing. Maybe he's gonna like do a strategic, bring you in hand with you in the beginning, and then help you do the partnerships, because then if you do partnership you can explode, then he can invest. So then you study how it's gonna be, because it's not an initial investment now. So we will see on that.
And how would you encourage other younger people like you to become entrepreneurs? What will be your advice to the new generations, especially how the things are looking?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your personality. I wouldn't say it to everybody. I mean, I would say to everybody to try it, but then I mean, I'm still a nobody, so I don't know if I'm capable, right? I mean, as of now, I'm still a kid. I think I have a vision of what I will be. I hope I will. I mean, I know I will be there, but I mean, for the other guys, I will just try it. The thing is, it's something wrong about my personality, but I get angry with some people, right? Because maybe they're like, yeah, no, I want to do entrepreneur. Like, really? Yeah, but you're competing against everybody. Entrepreneur, it means it's all in. You need to know everything. You don't know what a balance sheet is, right? You don't know your numbers. You don't even know how to read the financial statement, but you want to do this. Like, I was talking with a person the other day. It's like, no, but Max, you need to help me. I'm like, what do you want to do? I don't know why. I'm still a nobody, but my friends, I'm the guy who they come with the ideas. No, I need help. I'm like, okay, what's the idea? This. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. What's the numbers? What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, what's your gross profit? What's your variable cost? What do you mean? I mean, what do you mean? What I mean? I mean, I mean, what's your? Don't you have an idea? Like, what's your operating leverage? What's that? Oh man, okay, man. I mean, you want to do entrepreneur? You have to study that. You need to know everything. Me, I don't know marketing. I don't know how to retain people in a platform. What am I studying since 1 week? Retention, day and night. Because I don't know about that. I'm not gonna be arrogant. Problem today is arrogance. I know everything. No, you don't know. You know that I don't know. As Socrates said, I know that I don't know. That's how I approach it. I know I don't know. So whatever thing I do, I have knowledge on finance. Okay, I'm gonna organize for my team that side. The other things, I'm gonna take a step back. They are better than me, but I'm gonna grind at night. So the next day, I hope I can be helpful to them. It's just that. I was saying, I mean, for me, you need to have an all-rounder. And their entrepreneurship, you're going to go against bad motherfuckers. Because my 3 teammates, me and my other 2, one of them is a crazy killer and the other one is very good as well. But, I mean, if you're going to go entrepreneur, you're going to go against these guys. And these guys go in day and night with an obsessiveness in their mind, like sick obsessiveness. So if you're going to go against these guys, you better buckle up because it's not that easy.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, I have a friend, or let's say an acquaintance more than that, is that he built a very successful bio company after he graduated from Oxford. And that guy is the most talent. It's like, for me, where the talent meets the hard work. I have never met anyone like him.
That's explosion, big bang.
Yeah, it's like when he started his business, as soon as he graduated from Oxford, he raised around like 60 million euros overnight. And he started to do random investments globally. But the thing is that because he was super talented in physics and things like that, he had already a massive amount of connections before he reached a university. Before he went to the Imperial College London, he already had a massive amount of connections everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you had a person who has both things, and then he just went all in. But that's the thing, like when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have this madness, if you want to call it, where you're competing against too many things at the same time.
And it's against these people, it's difficult, right? I mean, for me, what I love the most is working with these 2 guys, and one of them is He's like me, but he's intelligent. So he's much more intelligent than me, but I don't consider myself intelligent. The guy is a monster. When you see these guys, you're like, it's hard.
But what do you mean with intelligence? Because that's a very subjective topic. Do you mean in math, in emotional things? Because there are different intelligence, man.
Okay, he's okay. If you're gonna tell me that he has to psychology, okay, it depends. If you're gonna tell me about sensitive emotions, he doesn't have emotions.
Okay.
He's a machine. If you're gonna tell me how he reads the room, he reads it better than everybody. He have to have the answer quicker than everybody. He's gonna have it quicker than everybody. Has strategic plans better than everybody.
Yeah.
Preparations for a meeting, knowing numbers, knowing things better than
Mhm.
everybody. So it's subjective, but for me, what I'm saying that if he doing the entrepreneur on the skills that I believe an entrepreneur has to
Yeah.
have, the guy is just on another level. I mean, it's impressive. And when those guys are there, my girlfriend, she wanna do the entrepreneur. She's so smart. She has so many ideas. Very smart girl, but sometimes I am like, please listen to the call me and the guys do. So I force her to sit down and like listen to me and the guys. And the other day she was here. We did 8 hours 30 minutes call,
Yeah.
and she heard everything and she's like, "What the fuck? You guys are sick." And the guys are like, "You understand? You're gonna go against this, so know your numbers because this guy's gonna ask the money to the same guys you are asking money."
Yeah.
As your friend, he's gonna go to talk to the same guys I wanna go talk to. Who am I to compete against this guy? Nobody. So I mean, if I don't work hard, what am I gonna put?
No, it is true because if you wanna compete against these guys, it's gonna be way hard because you guys like. I could say that he was winning what is astrophysics championships when he was 14 years old. And again, it's like you meet him like Jim Bro, graduated from Oxford, Imperial College London with a PhD, and then he doesn't sleep. I don't think he doesn't know that's a concept that doesn't exist. And then you will also meet him that he's very hilarious because he's playing the accordion. I don't know how to call it in the mountains in Slovakia and very things that it will confuse you completely because on one hand, one day he's advising the prime minister of Slovakia, and the next day he's in the mountains playing an accordion during Christmas. And the next day he is raising millions of euros in the United States.
I cannot say which company, but there's this owner who's famous in the world. Thanks to family. I mean, one of my family members is he's a right-wing man. He's a genius. He's a multi-billion-dollar company. This guy works all day, every day. At 2 a.m. he stops.
Yeah.
He opens this room, which is full of Legos. He doesn't go to sleep. He enters in the room of Legos and play with the Legos. He's 50, 60.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's like that. It's different.
Man, but to be a billionaire or to reach these things, you really need to put a lot of effort. There is no other way. If either you have it in your soul and you will put all the effort, or you are not gonna reach it. It's just like that.
It's tough. Their guys are obsessed. They're maniacal with the even the guy like Patrick Bet-David, like the competitiveness this guy has like inside of it never ends. Like the difference between these guys and the others, in my opinion, is there's so many good people out there and very smart and competitive. Like maybe you take like these very few, but of these people, there's like one saying of 100 people to go to battle, there 90 shouldn't be there. 9 are very, very good soldiers, and 1 is a true warrior, right? There's something like that.
Yeah, but then you will need to analyze backgrounds of people because sometimes that will influence us. Your traumas, your experiences, and that's sometimes what triggers those competitiveness.
There's 3 traits, they say, that they have all successful people. 1 is unconditional love from one person. No matter what happened, this person unconditionally loves you. The third one I don't remember, but the second one is a person who, no matter what you did, will never tell you you're good. You can be the best person in the world or whatever. You will never make this person proud. This is 2 of the 3 traits they analyzed on most successful people. And Elon Musk, I mean, take his dad and his mom relationship, Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah, but for example, for me, the case of Patrick David, he has an important trait is like he was not born in the United States.
Yeah.
So he has to prove a lot of people that he deserves to be there.
Mm.
And that's a trade-off that most people will not have. So in his brain, that constant, let's say, even if he says I'm an American, in his brain he knows I can never become the president. of the
He
United
cannot run
States.
for president.
So in his brain, that thing will always be there. And that's, for example, the difference that you will put, like, if you, in my opinion, if you analyze many of these people who build the United States, is they were immigrants. So that's something that most people will never experience. And it's not only to be an immigrant, it's how poor as an immigrant you are. Because if you have nothing, like, for example, like, it gives me like another example, though it's not exactly from an immigrant, but my grandfather ex was an orphan. That man had nothing. He had nowhere to where he could feel. He was an orphan and he was lost in the middle of the United States. So in his brain, he was always scared. You know, he raised his family even. He built his small business, everything. But he was always afraid. His brain never stopped because when he was able to grow up and this thing, he got nothing. So that's something that you cannot compare yourself. This man could overcompete anyone.
Yeah.
You could be the smartest in the place. You could be the most talented, but you will never outsmart this man because his fear that he had nothing and that he had nothing to rely on is something you cannot compete.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, if you look at soccer, where do all the soccer players come from? The poorest, you know.
Exactly. And
The problem is also a disadvantage sometimes, you know, when you have nothing and you have everything like this overnight,
it's always tricky, but that competitiveness is bigger when you have this background.
you have hunger. You
Yeah.
need to make it. There's no, because most of the people they have the father. If they don't make
Exactly.
it, these guys they don't, so it's different.
Yeah.
Never fight the man who has nothing to lose.
Yep.
Never.
Yep. I have met people who come from, let's say, considerably successful families, and I remember the answer as well. If I fail in the private sector, well, I just move to my dad's company. And that's a privilege. And I met the other extreme, like my grandfather's ex. He got nothing, and in his brain he was always scared. What if we lose a house? What if I lose my job? What if I lose the business? So his brain was never operated at the same level. That's why for me it's very difficult the comparison with Patrick with David because well, he's an immigrant and he came from a very poor background. It's not even about the acceptance of his parents. It's more the country where he is. Does he actually accept him, or he needs to constantly prove that to the Americans that he's worthy in the same field?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, his drive is.
I do believe that this is his real drive.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he says the story when they disrespected his father, but I mean that's also related to that for sure because, you're like, I mean, are you not treating my father because I'm not American? Maybe it's that. I don't know.
Yeah, I do think that this is, but of course this is not like an convenient truth to sell. But I really believe that if you could go deeper into that mindset, it will be, yeah, is that one will be there.
A guy who's taking over like him with the numbers he's doing and the growth he's doing, the speed of the growth he did is he wants to be president. If he could, he would be
Yeah.
president for sure. He loves it. He's ahead. He said it before everybody that Joe Rogan will interview Trump. He's ahead. He knows who's gonna do what. He always predicts things. I listen to an interview, go back to an interview. It's like, he said this. He's good. He's strategic. He would win if he was American. So he probably has it inside. Even though he doesn't admit it to himself, he's probably very pissed about that.
Yeah.
For sure. Like he would be a very nice candidate to see run.
And now, Max, if you could advise now one last thing to the audience, especially to the younger people, what would you advise them? Because, you were like, in a way you have these gifts, but you had also this drive to learn, to read, to unlearn in a way, and to get into something new. What could you advise? Something that people can take it practical, something that they could really actually do. Because to say reading, it will be more advice what you should read, because people are very confusing in these times, and you have too many distractions, and you will go to thousands of places, and eventually you will reach nowhere.
for me, it's a stupid phrase, but it's like, imagine your life is a movie and you're the main character. What would that guy do? For me, it's mainly that, and for that I transfer it, and I wake up every day and you go like, I don't know. I wake up, I don't know a shit. Because the moment you think you know, it's a problem. Because there's so many things we don't know. There's so many things, and if you do that, it's not about competitiveness. Everything, anything you do anyway, it's about knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more power you have. The more things you read, the more you learn. So aside from the books, okay, don't read a fairy tale of the tooth fairy. Maybe research on ChatGPT. We have all these tools. I want to do this in life. What's the best books? Okay, we have so many tools. It's so even stupid to say I don't know what to do. Okay, grab ChatGPT, tell him what you want, he will tell you. But aside from that, I don't know. I don't know. Even if you're very good, I don't know. For example, for my age, I'm very good in finance. I can say, this month the market was going down. I was making money, and my friends were like, I don't care. I don't know. I made profit today. I don't care. I don't know. I learn more. For me, it's that. The moment you go, I think like Socrates said, I know that I don't know. I think it's the best thing you can do, because the more you will gather more knowledge. For example, you have to recognize your flaws, and that's related to that. Me, I know I'm not curious about people, which is a quality you have. Like, you want to analyze people. For me, I'm like, no, he's not worth my attention. I have to work. He's not a billionaire. I don't want to listen. He's stupid. He's stupid. What do you know? The guy maybe is a very good researcher. He's intelligent. He can teach me a lot. But for me, I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be a researcher. I want to be Patrick Bet-David. So if I'm taking 20 minutes off, I'm listening to Patrick Bet-David. I'm not going to listen to a researcher. He's stupid. So I know that that's a flaw of mine, for sure. But sometimes I'm like, maybe a stupid way of saying it, but I will fix them maybe after.
Yeah.
So now I have to reach my objectives.
There is always time for everything.
Yeah.
It was very nice to
Thank you.
listen to you, Max, and I hope your new adventure is going to be a great success and I will be able to see it happening.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, man.
Hopefully, you have enjoyed this new episode of Sharing Your Stories. Without a doubt, Max is a great example of what we're missing in our world. People with a drive to change the world, people with new ideas and new innovations. I do believe that we have a lot to learn from people like him. And hopefully, he has inspired you with some of the books that he advised you, like Your Next 5 Moves, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, or many others. There is a lot that we can learn from people like him. And hopefully, one day I will have the chance to meet him, to speak with him, and to see how his adventure is going and how he's transforming the world. And maybe one day there will be a second episode seeing him as a successful entrepreneur. And maybe the next time it will be you, the one who will take part in this podcast.